age is just a number, and in our sport, we're seeing the master division grow at exponential rates. The amount of people who are competing that are over 35, 40, 50, 60, and 70 is growing, and there's a reason for that. It's because age is just a number. Today's episode, Femme Flex Friday, we're going to be talking about maybe some changes that we go through that we can adjust to make ourselves age better. And we're also going to be having a special guest come on later, and you will not believe how old this woman is. And she's also Figure Pro. So I am here with my co-hosts Whitney Jones, Linda Murray, and Wendy Fortino. So ladies.
Yes.
I think we're comfortable to say that we're all over the age of 40.
Not me. No. 21. I just stopped.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself. Okay.
The world knows our age, right?
Yeah.
We can't
Google
lie.
it.
Yeah, I know, right?
We're
It's over.
fabulous. That's it. That's all that we worry about.
Well, we are fabulous. We are fabulous.
We are. We really are.
And what would you guys say? And some of our past episodes, we've gone into depth about our skincare products. We're going to dive a little bit into that today.
Yeah.
So please be sure to check out some of our past episodes that we went in depth about skincare and our personal skincare routines. But as we've aged, what kind of changes have you guys made with some of your skincare, or some important products that you've had to add into your routine to keep our face looking youthful?
Oh yeah.
I just started using sunscreen.
Really?
That's one of them. That is one of them.
Really?
Like 30 years behind the 8 ball on it.
Well, that's
you guys
awesome
inspired
then.
me this year to. I've never worn sunscreen on my face.
That's a good first step.
Yeah, that's an excellent first step.
Yeah, sunscreen is one product that you definitely should be adding to your routine if you are aging, because you want to prevent wrinkles and skin cancer and sunspots.
Yes.
Well, looking at you guys,
for
I was
me-
like, what are you guys doing? Because I need to get on this bandwagon.
It's super important. I mean, it really is skincare. I mean, really.
Yes.
Well, here's the thing, okay? Between the epidermis and the hypodermis, you have the dermis. And in the dermis, you have the elastin and the collagen that are and the, your ceramides that are gluing your cells together. Those things are what keep everything gelled together and plump. And UV and UVB rays actually break down your elastin, your collagen, and your ceramides.
Yeah.
So if you're not protecting your skin, those are going to inevitably make you age faster. So when we get older, it's inevitable. We're all going to get older. But preventing the potential additional damage that you can avoid is what we want to do, right?
Yeah, and you go into depth about that on our episode, I think launched on June 23rd.
Yes.
So check that out. But as far as makeup goes, there's also some changes that maybe you can do, because as we change, we need to change some of our routines and our ways.
Absolutely.
And I found this really cute TikTok video. A couple of videos I want to share with you guys. I love this woman, so Nico, roll this video. Hit it.
Oh,
Is this
she's
what
my
people look like
fave.
at 50? Because, so that's in about, oh no, not in 3.5 years. Not Gen X. We do not age like that, okay? With the fuck around and find out, kids. I'm 46 and a half, and unless I jump into a time machine in 3.5 years, that is not happening, okay? We fucked around, we found out. We raised ourselves like a pack of wild wolves. We grew up on bologna, okay? Microwaved everything, stood in front of the microwave like this. Okay? Waiting for our food. We're still here. Right? We grew up on no water. You only drank water if it was outside through a garden hose. And we still look pretty damn good. We grew up on soda. If you couldn't afford the soda, you got the Kool-Aid. You couldn't get the Kool-Aid, you put some sugar in your water. It tasted better. That's how we did it. No one drank straight up water. What? Okay? And we're still here. We drank that little wax drink. You used to bite it off and pour it in your mouth.
Remember those?
What the F was in that? Cheese Whiz. We loved Cheese Whiz. I don't know, but we still look pretty damn good. So Gen X does not age like that. Maybe all the preservatives preserved us, but guess what? Not today.
Absolutely. Right on. I absolutely love her. What I learned from her in makeup, is, especially with the eyebrows, because your face, it shifts.
Yes.
Trust me. It shifts a little, and that's why I didn't not into the permanent eyebrows. I know when they were doing permanent eyebrows, and then I recognized that something's going to shift, and my eyebrows would be here or up there, But she really helped with making sure that your eyebrow not going down. downward.
Totally.
So you want to do things to lift.
more out,
Lift.
like
lift.
So, Linda,
Yes.
thank you for this segue because I have I don't know if it's the same exact episode, but something very similar.
ooh, give us all the goods.
Today we're going to play a game of do's and don'ts of makeup in our 40s and beyond. Are we ready? First,
We're ready.
don't. Okay? Do this. And go in the shadow.
Which is what a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Do.
I had to stop.
Go above.
Right above. Yep. Yes.
Now I'll show you the difference. I'm taking my little brush.
It's a huge difference.
Oh, that one
I'm
looks like
blending
it's
here.
like
This is what we were taught to do. Do like that,
Yeah.
and then blend. Right?
And you may be able to get away with that if you're
both sides
younger.
are good, to be
Shaped
honest.
face?
But
Yeah, but see, she's still young.
she lifted
She
her.
has great skin.
She lifted her cheekbones.
I'm not blending to
out on that
perfection. Just showing some differences of
They look a
do's
little
and
higher.
don'ts.
Yep.
It's higher, so she
Lifted.
looks, but it's a big
Hollow.
difference.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a big difference.
Do.
Well, and it's the hollowness.
one. Interesting.
Because we lose that
Next,
in our
do or
face.
don't.
I
Smile.
like it.
Put your blush on your apple. Blend it in.
Oh God, who does that?
Unsmile.
No, nobody.
Oh, wow. Drop.
Nobody
On your
does
nasal
that.
labia
Huge
fold.
drop.
Okay.
That's
Next,
over the top.
put the do high apple a little bit up. And that's a liquid cheek. And then blend.
Yeah. It is
Do.
great.
No, don't. Your apple can fall from the tree.
Oh my
See,
gosh.
that's what I'm saying. I
Do.
know her
Like
little.
that.
Line a little around the lip. Round the top. Go on the bottom. And don't go all the way
To the corner.
to the edge.
Right.
Don't. Then M.
It's cool. She's doing both sides.
My mouth is down. Sides looking nuts. I look sad. Happy. More youthful.
Yes.
Do. Don't take your liner all the way across. Stop it there.
Yeah.
Another one. Next. Don't contour your nose this wide.
Oh God.
Now, it looks larger, even if I blend.
It does look
It
larger.
does look larger.
Oh my gosh.
That's a don't. Do
Oh gosh.
contour the nose closer together.
With your face.
Closer you can.
I like doing my makeup.
Ready?
I don't know. I say if you don't know how to contour your nose, don't do it at all.
That creates a more narrow bridge, not a wider. I didn't blend it perfectly,
The
but I'm
nose
just giving
is
you
easier to
the
contour.
idea. This is fun. Finally,
The
don't
other stuff is challenging.
square too much the jaw.
Yeah.
Do it a little bit softer for a more feminine look.
So first of
These are
all,
fun
the
tips.
contouring, like now, that's a really big thing on,
Yes.
on TikTok,
Yeah.
right? All of the baking and the
Yeah.
contouring, and so for me, we didn't do the contouring, like that wasn't available to the person, the layman.
And we didn't
it was
really know
available.
about it.
We didn't know about
Yeah.
it, and so I was trying to figure out, okay, like what's going on with all the powder and the contouring? What is contouring? Yeah. So I think that's like a lot of times I'll let the professionals. I'll leave it up to Chanel.
Yeah.
To do
Yeah.
my contouring.
Yeah.
I know how to contour my nose,
Right.
but and I do understand what she was talking about with the cheek because
Yeah.
and the lipstick. Because that's one of the first places that a lot of us with age, you start to have
Yeah.
that
Well, there's
turn down
Yeah.
smile.
Right. You look
Yeah.
like you're like
there's
Yes,
constantly.
yes.
There's two things I always like focus on when I'm working on an aging face. And like one of them is, when it comes to shimmers and glimmery stuff, that stuff looks really good and bright on youthful skin, but it can really settle into wrinkles and lines.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you're, especially on the eyelids, right? So we like to do like lots of like shimmery stuff on the eyelids. We have to be careful about where you put it. So like strategically placed shimmers on places where you're not going to crease, where you're not going to crinkle. Definitely not putting like shimmery stuff on like the crease and where your eye is going to move around and wrinkle a lot. And then also concealer, only putting concealer where the shadows are.
They're going crazy
Yeah.
with the concealer,
Yeah.
but I know with me, I still use concealer, but just like a little on the edges, like when I do it.
Yeah.
But a professional, she
Yeah.
knows how to place it and do all that baking.
You look so
Yeah, the
perfect. I don't know
baking,
how
yeah.
you do it. I'm sitting right next to you.
I didn't do my makeup.
And I'm just in awe. I don't know.
Chanel, this is Chanel right here.
You look, I mean, you have like a 20-year-old skin. I don't understand. It's crazy.
No, but here's the
nuts.
thing. I feel like it's this thing when you're young, you just feel like it's going to last forever. And this is
yeah.
what's so great with me, that you really understand now the importance of
still young,
little
you
late,
understand.
of
Too late.
sunscreen and all
Yeah.
of that, because it's almost like you have to play a catch-up game, and sometimes you can't catch up.
Right.
You know what I
Yes.
mean? If you've allowed that damage to occur, and it's, so it's
But you're
good to
right.
do it.
I wish it would have been like almost like enforced. Like, do you want to look good later?
Yeah.
Because you do. I've always been like, it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I just
Yeah,
need
right.
a tan today or
No, because
whatever.
you look 25 right now, and if you learned
Oh,
earlier, you'd look
please.
18. You look illegal.
When we're younger, though, like our skin, maybe we're more prone to like breakouts
Yeah,
and things like
true.
that. So you don't want to have
Yeah.
a lot of like thick stuff on your face. But as you age, it's real. I came across that woman that we just watched, and I learned a lot of stuff that I've been following very young makeup artists, and a lot of things that they teach you. You try to mimic what they do, but it doesn't look the same on you. So making these little tweaks can
Little
make a big
tweaks.
difference.
Huge difference.
You brought up a really good point. When we're younger, we use like drying things to dry out.
I just switched over to all cream bases
Yes.
Yeah.
because I was using all powder bases,
Yeah.
and it makes you look kind of even more like
It does.
dry.
We stay dry, and when we're older, and the cell turnover just isn't as rapid. But like when you're younger, you can use like benzoyl peroxide and things that
Yeah.
are harsh to get rid of the acne. But it just keeps the layer of dry skin on top of your face, and you can get older and aging. I always say like when you get older, like benzoyl peroxide is probably not the best anti-blemish tool. It's like I love using things that help you exfoliate, like salicylic acid, glycolic
Retin-A.
acid.
I use niaminoside. Do you use niaminoside?
Yes, those they help to slough things off and kill the what's ailing you. Versus like benzoyl peroxide just dries everything out and kills everything.
Right, and we don't want that.
Honestly, too, you have to budget. There's so much.
Yeah.
There
so
is.
like again, being younger,
Yeah.
it was like, well, what am I going to buy?
Yeah, you just need
And
the lip
so-
gloss,
Yes.
and mascara,
Yep.
and
sunscreen. I wish I would have just budgeted sunscreen versus
Those
some
were
of the
the
other
days.
blue eyeshadows I was trying to wear.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We're going to dive a little bit deeper into the diet and fitness aspect of an aging woman. Welcome back, everybody. And before we go into this next segment, please be sure to like, subscribe to Olympia TV, and stay tuned for all of our episodes that come out. So next, we're going to talk a little bit about diet and exercise changes or needs of an aging woman. So, ladies.
Yeah, for me, without question, and I made my mind up. I really did. Like early days of weight training and changing my physique, I said, when I get in my mid 40s and my 50s, I will still continue to weight train like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like keep that program. So for me, like that is super huge, because I can tell you I have girlfriends in their 60s that they primarily just do cardio.
Right.
And they do no type of resistance training, and it's harder for them to maintain their weight and also like their structure,
Their mobility.
their mobility and everything. So I still, weight training is a super important part of what I do. I still train like a bodybuilder. When I say train like a bodybuilder, I don't mean that I'm doing
You're putting bars up.
right?
Yeah.
Like I can do push-ups, 4 sets of 20
You're
repetitions.
focused on shaping your body
Yeah.
and focusing on
Totally.
aesthetics.
Lean muscle.
And it really
Maintaining-
helps me. It truly does.
just
And
gotta weight train.
You just have to.
Something that people don't necessarily realize when they're just doing cardio is that resistance training is the best thing you can do to maintain bone density.
Totally.
And higher bone density will absolutely make you look more youthful, not just in your body, but in your face.
And the lean
Yes.
muscle builds your metabolism.
Yes.
So we all want a faster metabolism.
Right.
If you're tearing down and eating away at your muscle from too much cardio, you're just going to be skinny fat. Or skin droops at some point.
And as we age, it's probably it's more important to continue weight training to keep up with that, because we're going to be losing muscle mass at a faster rate
Yes.
as well.
Yeah.
So, and a lot of women, I feel like we're lucky that we embrace bodybuilding and weight training, and it's part of our lifestyle. So now it's just, as we age, maybe, you two are still actively competing, but maybe Linda and I, it's like we're doing it more for maintenance and for structure, and also we love it. But for women, there's a lot of women that I talk to that are maybe have not been into that, aren't familiar how to do that, and they're afraid to start, or they don't know how to start.
Yeah.
And I always say, just get a personal trainer.
Yeah.
And even just starting
Proper
doing
form.
mobility work and
Yes.
working yourself up, it makes you so much stronger.
Yeah, because everything for me is important. The stretching.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, for example, long distance runners, even girls like in their 20s and their 30s and 40s, and all they do is long distance running, they look a little older.
Yeah,
Right.
They look older. Even it's not just in the face because they're so lean, but even their structure,
Yeah.
I want to say. And so, I mean, that is for me an example.
Yeah,
for
I mean,
sure.
if I'm looking at a long distance runner, she's in her 30s and her 40s, and she just looks frail.
Right.
There's no muscle.
Yeah,
Right.
because most of the time, the long distance runners, they don't really have as much time to do the weight
sure.
training, but they know now today to do
Right.
so.
Well, a couple
Yeah.
things that happen when you're pounding the body, you're compressing your red blood cells, and a lot of runners are a little bit anemic. You know what I mean? Hematocrit levels tend to be lower, and then also you're burning so many calories.
So many calories.
And your cortisol levels stay high for so long, and people also the joints, they take time to recover. And that's the thing. Like whenever I have athletes do high intensity strength training, I usually have them do low impact cardio. Right,
Like walking at an incline or something.
Yeah. So if the intensity is high and the impact is high, that tends to, wreak a lot of havoc on the body. Cortisol levels, hormone levels get off whack. Hematocrit levels get lower. Anemia can set in, and so runners deal a lot with that. In addition to the sun
and cortisol, I didn't know. I know what it is now. You know what I mean? It's a whole lot of things. Sunscreen, I know what it is now, but I didn't.
Yeah.
So I think it is important if you know that. Take care of yourself in your 30s and 40s. Understand.
Yeah.
Figure out what you need to do as far as resistance training, weight training. You don't have to train like a bodybuilder, but understand the importance of training your upper body when you're a woman, doing push-ups, doing, so.
What about dietary changes?
Well, for
Everyone
sure.
always looks at Linda first.
Well, here's the thing. I think it's really cool because, and it's not cool, when you start to go through menopause and you have to figure out what you need to do to get through that.
Yeah.
And one of the first signs is when you put things into your body, if you eat too many carbs, your body's going to
Flare
tell
up
you.
maybe more so.
Yes. So my body responds completely different, as far as I can't take in as many carbs as I did in the past, or caffeine. So it forces you to really take a look.
Why?
Even caffeine,
Why?
it'll ignite a hot flash.
Oh,
in
that
some
makes
cases,
sense. Okay.
We don't want
people
that.
are all different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, 'cause- so that's for sure.
Yeah, so the caloric needs and macro needs change,
Decrease.
adjust.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't
They
need, you
decrease.
can't, you don't need all of that. And if you keep putting
Yeah.
in stuff, a lot of sweets and your body right away, it lets you know.
As I'm staring
it'll
at a
force
dozen
you.
donuts right there.
Mimi
Trust
and I
me.
have maintained, I think we have a lot in common. We both have always I've had a fast metabolism my whole life, but I do notice a lot of changes start to happen. I mean, when I was in my track days, back in high school and college, I could sit down, I could eat a large pizza by myself, and it wouldn't even faze me. I
Right.
would wake up the next day with abs, These days, I mean, that would mess me up. That would F me up.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously,
Totally.
I would totally. It's crazy, but the body definitely changes.
The body, and it's balance. You have to balance every single thing you do. You can't sleep, all of that, everything.
Yeah. Have you guys experienced, I know for me, I noticed like when I first started competing in my early 30s compared to competing in my 40s, like my preps felt different. My preps felt different. I had to maybe work a little harder than I did prior. It took things a little bit longer to progress. Have you guys experienced any of that?
You know what I think it is? You have to work smarter.
Smarter.
Yes.
You have to work smarter. Like my knees, I cannot do what I did in my 30s. I can't run that way. I can't lift that kind of way.
Yeah.
I can't go long periods of time and not exercise and then, okay, I'm going to catch up. Let me just jump back into my diet. It's like, for me, now it's so important, consistency. It's like the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
And I just have to reel myself back in.
Yeah.
And try to maintain my weight, try to not get too far.
Sure.
You know,
I don't think anything has changed with Whitney. I don't know how she does what she does.
I know, but I can't ever stop doing fitness and hours of routine practice.
I know. I get like
I've been lucky. I'm waiting for that to change.
But she has had many injuries.
I do. It's probably because I'm half robot with all the metal in my body. Maybe that has its benefits.
I honestly, I don't know. I'm noticing little weird aches and pains. I have to wear elbow sleeves now when I lift, and I don't lift really heavy, but my elbows bother me all the time.
I have my hips.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh,
We're going to be in wheelchairs and walkers and a next
an elbow issue. But
I
want these biceps to grow. Gosh, dang these.
But you find yourself like doing exercises to like prevent injury.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Versus like training for certain reasons. Like, okay, I need to do this stretching. I hated stretching, and now I'm making
now
sure
you
that
love
I
it.
stretch.
Yeah.
I don't want to say I love it, but I'm making myself do it because there's reasoning and health purposes for it.
I literally warm up and stretch for an hour before I do my heavy routine practices. It has to be an hour.
Wow.
I mean, that's a long time.
That's
it makes sense.
Yeah.
But otherwise, there's no way
really
I could do
does.
the ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I would
Gosh.
That's a
have more
great
injuries.
point.
Yeah,
It is
so I
ridiculousness.
have to set aside time. And if I don't have enough time to properly warm up, then it's not going to happen. Because that's when injuries. Yeah. And I used to never even stretch for 5 minutes. Never.
Wow.
Yeah, right? So
Yeah.
my body's saying, hello.
Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we have a special guest coming right when you get back. Welcome back to Femme Flex Friday, and Wendy, why don't you introduce our next guest?
Well, our guest is somebody who is very special, very dear to my heart. Her name is Missy Sandeman, so let's give her a round. Missy is a phenom. You would absolutely never guess her age, but we're going to say it because she wears it with pride. Missy is 71 years young.
Wow.
And she is the most successful 71-year-old IFBB Figure Pro in the world right now. And we are so excited, so grateful, so happy to have her. And I'm going to let her share, all of her story. But Missy, you know what? I think that why don't we just go ahead and get started? Tell us how you got started in the bodybuilding world and give us a little bit about your story and your history, and we'll just let you go ahead and take the floor from here.
Well, okay, it was a long time ago, 42 years ago. My husband played for the NFL, and he had been out about 3 years when I met him. And he said, "You want to go work out with me?" We were dating at the time, and I said, "Sure, I'll go, whatever." I was up.
And when was this? When was this? What year was this?
1981.
Okay.
And so we were in Cardiff by the sea, which is down in San Diego. And he took me into this gym, and I started working out with him, and there was a little flyer, a little funky little flyer on the wall, and it was a bodybuilding contest. It was actually the Pacific USA.
Oh,
yeah.
it
It
still
was
happens.
at a theater in Encinitas. And Sandy, my husband, said, "You could do that." And I said, "Sure, I could do it. I could do anything back then, you know. I was young and full of it." And so I trained for about 3 months. I mean, now I'm thinking, how did I even think I could do that? And I trained, and there were probably 27 women in that lineup. It was all bodybuilding, of course. Linda,
That's the only
you know
division
that.
there was, right?
But that's all there was.
Yeah, that's all there
was.
Yeah, I mean, it's so different now. And I did it. I got up there and I won. And I was like, well, this is cool. You know, I think I could do this again.
Yeah.
So I did, I think around 8 shows. I did that one again. The next year I did, it was called Miss Southern California. I did that one twice. And I was first and second in a lot of them. I didn't know what I was doing, you guys. I mean, I
Yeah.
have a coach.
Wow.
I got my bikini in a bikini store.
Yes.
You know? I mean, it's,
There was no such thing as like the coaches and these fancy outfits and suits. You had to go to the store, major, and find a bikini.
yes. I mean, it was, you know, and they were kind of ridiculous looking. You know,
Yeah.
we crossed our straps in the
Right.
back, but oh my gosh, the video that I have of myself that I think Steve Winterstrom sent me.
Oh yeah.
I sent it to,
Wow.
to Wendy, but it's pretty embarrassing. I mean,
We're going to try to get that too.
Yes, we must see.
oh my God. You are not putting it on the show. It's like,
Come on.
you know, when he sent it to me, I went, oh, that's cool, because I wasn't, you know, bodybuilding. And then I got into bodybuilding and figure bodybuilding, and I just went, oh my gosh, should I send it to Wendy? You know, I mean, it's kind of embarrassing, but anyway, it was fun. I made
Well,
it
that's
to
part of the growth.
goal.
Yeah.
So, Missy, have you ever competed with maybe someone high up in the judging world of the NPC IFBB before?
You know, it's been 42 years, you guys. I mean, and I didn't continue on like Sandy did, and I probably did. I mean, I think she said we did. I mean,
Sandy
Sandy
Williams.
Williams.
Sandy Williamson is who you competed with.
yes, Sandy Williams.
Who else did you compete
Because we're
with?
exactly the same age. We were born like weeks apart.
Oh, wow. Wow. Wow.
But it's kind of cool, you know. I mean,
Heck yeah.
I got back into this on a whim. You know, I
So how long was your hiatus after? So when did you stop and why? And then when did you come back and why?
I stopped in 1984. Yeah, 1984, because I wanted kids. And, you know, I knew that it was going to be hard to do both. And
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a mom. And, and I couldn't do that. My body wouldn't do it. I couldn't have a baby.
Yeah.
So, because we went through all the in vitro and everything, and I couldn't have a baby. So we adopted in 1984.
Yeah.
And I think I did one show after that, and I went, no.
You just didn't
you know,
compete, but you continued to weight train, obviously.
Yeah,
You
I
had
did,
to
but not
have some
seriously.
kind of-
I got into running.
Okay, you're right. You actually
I did.
continued to exercise.
Yeah. I
You know-
did 28 marathons.
The thing that I see that's so amazing, and this is like an example of what I'm talking about, because when I look at your face, like you look youthful and healthy.
I was thinking you look 20 years younger.
Like,
yeah.
that is an example, because people like look at the body so much, but it's so much that's involved in like just your energy and everything.
Yeah.
People don't get it. Like when you exercise, the way you walk, the way you move,
Yep.
the way your skin glows, your hair, you just look healthy. And
Yes.
that's really
you.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I attribute
Teach
a
us
lot
your
of
secrets.
it right now to Wendy. Because Wendy has turned me on to so many cool facial.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She's done that to us too.
And it shows. Look at your skin.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
shining. You have a glow on your forehead
That
and
is
your
awesome.
cheeks.
Well,
And
in case our
No,
viewers don't know,
yeah.
Wendy is actually Missy's coach.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, she
she's
is.
such a
She's my
gem.
coach and my good friend.
Yes.
So
Absolutely.
what made you want to get back in? You said you got back
Well-
in on a whim.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was running with this girl that was a 100-miler, you know.
Oh, yeah. Ultra.
She did all of them. And she got in bodybuilding. And she did physique. And she said, you know, Missy, you could do it again. Because she knew I did it back in the day. And I said, well, you know, maybe I could. And I entered I think it was the Contra Costa show, and I placed fourth in physique, which I'm not big enough for physique, and I'm too old. It's too hard to build that much muscle at my age, you know.
It does get
So Wendy, I had another coach at the time, and then I found Wendy and Matt, and Wendy said, I hope this doesn't offend you, but you'd be really good in figure.
Yeah,
And I went,
you are not
do
physique.
I have to wear those heels? Can I go barefoot?
No.
You're like, you can wear small wedges.
Yes.
But that's how it started, and I promised my husband it would be one show. 'Cause I have this addictive personality, and I have, when I set a goal,
She does
nothing
not let
gets
anything
in my
stand.
way. So I did it, and here I am. I think it's 11 shows later. I
Wow.
think there's 7 pro shows
Yes.
that I've done.
Awesome.
And I'm not quitting until my skin starts looking
Good
bad.
for you.
You can all tell me that. Tell me.
So, Missy, if you were to tell our viewers, and maybe a woman who is in her late 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s, who's maybe wanting to get into this, like what advice would you give to them? Because you are a phenomenal
Yeah.
example of
yeah.
yes, you can do it.
Yep.
Age is just a number.
Yeah.
Well, I just say that, you know, you have to set a goal.
Yeah.
And you have to, in my opinion, I'm very serious about it. What Matt and Wendy tell me to do, I do exactly that. But you can do anything that you set your mind to. I mean, there's, physical things and mental things that might stand in your way. But I've had so many people contact me through, social media and say the same thing you just asked. How do you do it? And I just say, just set a goal and go step by step. Don't think that you're going to get there in 3 months.
Yeah.
Because you're not.
Yeah.
It's going to take. It's taken me this time
Yeah.
like 7 years to get mature muscle.
Isn't it?
And they're very mature.
Wow.
It's so interesting because
But-
on one hand you think of bodybuilding as being like a selfish sport, but I think in your case, in a lot of women who really strive to be successful in this, it is selfless also, because we were just talking about this, but the Olympia Instagram page posted a video of you, and you said after that your page went viral. You had women coming from all over the world flooding your inbox, telling you how, and you had just had a conversation with me. You were feeling a little bit down. You felt like you were feeling self-conscious about your age, and you were competing with women much younger than you, and you told me that gave you a boost that just filled your soul. Tell us a little bit about that, like the moments when you get down about your age, and then what lifts you up, and just run us through that, because these are the things that women are going through. You know what I mean?
Well, sometimes you look too close in the mirror, I mean, I did that at 35, I looked at myself and went, oh man, you know, just in certain instances. But this time, you know, I was on that stage in the NorCals with all those Olympians, and I was like, wow, you know, is this the place I should be, or should I just stick to the Masters? See, I like to challenge myself, and that challenges you.
Yes,
you know, I mean. And I was a little shaky on my presentation. It was, you know, my posing was shaky, but you know, I learned from it. I feel like I learned from it, and also it was so heartwarming after that show to have people come up to me and say, somebody told me there was a 71-year-old on stage and I didn't pick you, and I went. What? And I got a lot of very heartwarming. I was in tears for like the first 100 things I read that, you know, followers I got. They were, you know, how do you do it? And I need this in my life. And, you know.
You keep a lot of people going.
It must have been really cool for Sandy Williamson to also see you on stage at the NorCal. I think I was actually judging that show when you were there. And Sandy, the Masters division is so dear to her heart. And for her to be, you know, to know you and compete with you back in the day and to see you now on the pro stage, that must be amazing for her to experience. As well as you being up there.
She's such a sweet person, such a love, you know. She gave me a big hug when I arrived, and, you know, I just felt like, I'm doing this for us, and she's doing it for everyone, you know. I mean, show people that we can do it. She has as much energy as I do. She can do it.
Gosh, she does.
I mean,
right.
You know, I just have all this energy. I thought by the time I was 60, I'd be mellowing out. And don't you feel that way?
I think it's so cute because it's just like really a cool thing. You were just talking about like your thoughts at 35, and then I hear people say that, and I'm thinking, dude, 35 is the ultimate in life to be 35.
I know.
Amazing. And now, and the same thing in my head, like to think of like 60 and then to see you, it's just really impressive. And the reason I'm like looking at you, and I look at all athletes on stage that still compete, that you're on stage showing your rear end, showing your stomach, and I say this to say, for a woman to have a tight butt, and be able to put on a bikini,
so tight.
like, honey, like the athletes like myself that, you know, we win the Olympia and that's all great, and then you're forced to retire at 40. Well, honey, I could never take off anything and show my, you know, my stomach and the elasticity. Once you like let it go like this, and you could be you know, get back down to a nice size. But that elasticity in your rear end, like, just know you look fabulous. I'm just saying.
Well, I appreciate that. I tell Wendy and Matt, I don't want to be the competitor, the 71 or 72-year-old, however long this will last, that everybody goes, oh, isn't she cute? I'm going to be that one. Because I've heard people in the audience go, aw. I don't want any ahs. When that happens, get the hook.
Okay, I have an update for you, Missy. So when you waited for me, and before you left, you waited and you ran up to me and you're like, I have something to give you. You gave me this Brazilian bum cream. You said that it was like the thing that was helping you keep your butt tight.
That is great cream, by the way.
I tried it and I love it. I just wanted to give you the update. We're not sponsored by them. We don't endorse them.
It smells good.
But it smells so good.
Really?
It was great. Thank you.
Always sold out.
Is that your secret for your booty? How do you keep that skin so tight?
On my, you know, I think a lot of it is genetic, you guys. I mean, but because I grew up in Hermosa Beach, California, on the beach. And I fried myself. I mean, and in Hawaii, I lived in Hawaii. So, but I've been taking care of my skin for probably since I was 40.
Yeah.
Really.
See?
Like,
There you go.
You sound like Whitney.
Whitney
Yeah.
just discovered sunscreen.
I just started using
She
sunscreen.
just, yeah.
She's
And
genetically
Retin-A,
gifted
and
like you.
And retin-A, yes. I've learned a
Oh,
lot.
you use
being a host.
Retin-A now.
Yes.
Go ahead, girl.
Yes.
you know, like, it's important. The thing that has really bothers me are my hands, because I ran for so many years on the trails, and I didn't use sunscreen on my hands, and they go, you know. But I've been using my infrared mask that I use every night on my hands.
Good idea.
It works.
Yeah, it works.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, and I also purchased a infrared sauna, and I think it's so helping.
Wow.
Yeah.
It really helps your skin.
I
Yeah.
have one hopefully coming on the way.
For the whole body?
You
Get in
you
it?
sit
Oh,
in it.
nice.
Yeah.
You ordered one?
We're going to. We're going to.
They're
But,
amazing.
Yeah.
Missy, thank you so much for coming on this episode. You've touched on some topics that we were talking about right before you came on, so we really appreciate it. And you are so inspirational. This is, I
Well,
hope you
thank you.
inspire a lot of
I
our
want to see you
viewers.
on stage
Me
in person
too.
because I've seen lots
Everyone's
of
going to be
photos.
following you
Yeah.
now, Missy.
Well, I just admire you guys so much, and it's such an honor to be here. And thank you for having me. I'm just thrilled. So
Thank you.
and,
Everyone loves Missy.
I hope to
Keep
see
doing
you
what
out
you're
there.
doing.
and-
Oh, yeah. You're inspiring
Thank
a
you.
lot of women and touching lives.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you, Missy.
Thank you, Missy.
All right, you guys, thank you for tuning in on another episode of Femme Flex Friday. Please be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. What did you think about today's episode? We'll see you later.
Bye.